Okay, Mr. Watkinson, you've been working a lot with the negotiations. When you compare the suggestions in this report to your work, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think we need to continue with the international negotiations. They're not going to give us, in the near future, a huge deal which will cover everything in all detail. I think that was one of the errors of Copenhagen. We were trying to do too much, get everything in there. We'll need something which sets global ambition, which has information on mitigation actions, the whole follow-up to them, and a support system, funding, technology, collaboration, and others. And all of that is essentially in the political agreement, the Copenhagen Accord, which was reached last year. And we want to consolidate that and develop further those elements in the negotiations in Cancun, in South Africa, and over several years. There won't be a big event where everything is solved. But we will need in parallel to take forward collaboration with countries, with business, in probably a series of different clubs, communities. We can use different terms. We've set up an international partnership this year already covering action in the forestry field, reduction of emissions from deforestation, which has been an extremely important initiative. Forest countries, donor countries coming together to strengthen action and to move forward. That needs to move now into an active phase. And we'll need to do that, no doubt, in other fields. So looking at this initiative here, if there's something which can bring together those countries who are working to implement a carbon price in their economy, to work with industry on the technologies and others, there could be many ways of putting it together. And I think there will need to be other initiatives in other fields, in adaptation, maybe in some of those other areas, the organization of cities, buildings, transports, and other areas, which maybe a single initiative won't be able to capture everything. Otherwise, we'd maybe fall into the same problems we had in the negotiations. But a range of initiatives, bringing together willing countries in a range of fields, is almost certainly an essential complement to what we can do in international negotiations over the coming years.
This report has the underline breaking the deadlock. Will it break the deadlock, and is there a deadlock in your mind, in your view?
Well, I think deadlock in the negotiations, yes, there is a sense of deadlock, but it's also because we have to be realistic on what the negotiations can deliver. They won't deliver this huge deal covering everything. They will give us a number of key tools, a certain information system, the political will we can try to mobilize. That's, I think, the real problem of deadlock, is getting political will. But that also comes by learning by doing, working outside the negotiations, acting together with those countries who want to act. And there are many who are acting in developed and developing countries. One of the fascinating things that happened at the start of this year, after Copenhagen, is a number of countries who stressed the policies they're implementing and they're committed to implement, both developed and many developing countries. So, I mean, the situation is not black and white. It's not there are some who are acting, some who aren't. Everyone is trying to act. The negotiations have hit a limit as to what can be done at the moment. That's a problem, but we have to find ways around it. So moving forward is maybe a better sense than breaking the deadlock.
Some say that Copenhagen was a failure. Others say it was an important step. What steps are going to be taken in Cancun and in South Africa?
Well, our aims for Cancun is to come up with a set of decisions which will consolidate the sort of political deal we reached in Copenhagen, give us a common goal, actions on, capture the actions that people are taking in the field of mitigation, work together to act on adaptation technologies and so on. And there will be some essential content there, and there will be things that we will take forward over several years to elaborate the rules for implementation. So we hope to get something of that sort in a package, including a new fund, including a technology mechanism, including a mechanism to support the forest side within the convention, as well as the initiatives outside. So we want some fundamental content there. If we don't get that, then there is a real question about where the international negotiations go and how the UN system and the multilateral system can actually be able to reach deals. But I think that even would strengthen the importance of the complementary work outside.